I know you said it's easier, but I don't know if this is easier. I think it's just because we have things to do.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, wait. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a very special edition of the Overcast Podcast. We're out here at CES 2019. Joined with me is the one and only Billy Kyle.
Of course, I'm your co-host.
I know, but I have to say that, dude. It's my thing.
So whenever we do this podcast, right, we're in totally separate locations. He's down in Florida. I am up in Philadelphia. And then we splice together through editing to make it kind of look like we're
No, you said we. It's you.
Okay.
You splice it together.
I splice it together to make it look like we're in kind of like the same room talking across the table from each other. But we're actually sitting at the same table here. So hopefully this episode is a little bit more enjoyable. We've shot this probably 4 or 5 times already, and we're redoing it again. But it's been a lot of fun just because we can sit down here, we can talk. And we're not kind of...
It's like we're hanging out.
Yeah, we're not like trying to look through Skype at each other and lag and just... Ugh.
Yeah.
So, first of all, we want to thank our sponsor, Skywatch AI. They jumped on as a sponsor last episode. That's when we started working with them for this podcast. But we've actually been working with them for a couple of months now. I mean, they're a great product. They offer insurance. You know what, Ken, why don't you tell them everything?
So, Skywatch AI is an on-demand drone insurance program. It's an application that you can download. It's on the Apple App Store or Google Play. And they offer you affordable solutions to on-demand insurance. I know for me, using it with real estate, it's a requirement to have insurance, but full insurance is really inexpensive. With Skywatch AI, I can easily insure a house for $100,000 all the way up to $1 million policy, which is fantastic. And as I start to grow, I can also use their monthly policy, which gives me hull insurance to protect my actual drone in case if I wreck that too. So it's really huge. It's convenient. It's available in all 50 states. Which is a first for drone insurance. Mm-hmm. So Verifly is not even available in all 50 states, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, and you guys can go ahead and download the app. We've got a link down in the description.
Skywatch AI, tell them Overcast sent you.
Yeah, and it's available on the Google Play Store, the App Store, any device that you guys use. And I'm really happy that they added that whole insurance because...
Do you have a delay? I said that.
Oh, no, I'm saying...
Oh, okay. I got you.
I'm really glad that they had the whole insurance, and they just added that because when I first started using Skywatch, it was only liability insurance. So you had to go with something like State Farm and just juggling
which is
around.
A bad idea. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. You make a claim that's going to go against you for other things, which sucks.
Yeah, exactly. So you're jumping around with these different companies. It could affect other things. Skywatch, all drone related, and I'm really glad that they jumped on as a sponsor because, again, I love using them. So, yeah, we're at CES 2019. We want to talk about some of the things that we saw. We didn't see all that much, not that much from drones, but I feel like there's still a lot to talk about.
There was a lot of details this year. So this is my first CES. Very overwhelming, no matter what year it is. There's a lot to take in.
Yeah, second CES here, and it's still pretty overwhelming.
It was fun to do it with somebody, though, because I couldn't do this. I got lost yesterday. Uber kicked me out of a car. So.
It's tough because they've got North Hall, Central Hall, they've got South Hall, and then they've got a bunch of other locations around Las Vegas in different casinos and in different resorts. I mean, it's all over the place. It's a great time. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great things to see, but if it's your first time, it's definitely a little overwhelming.
Yes. Go with a friend. Don't go alone.
Yeah, so let's see. So some of the companies we saw were DJI, we saw Autel, we saw Unique, we saw some other companies like High Grade and like Apex something like drones and Tom and Top, or a lot of
weird places.
Cheap toy drones. We didn't see Parrot though. No Parrot.
Parrot was MIA completely. I don't know what happened. The bird flew the coop.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot of things about Parrot. I don't want to make anything official, but I've heard that they're not going to be doing like consumer stuff anymore. They're all commercial.
It's very possible that they're not, but
I don't know.
No presence is scary.
That is a general trend about a lot of these companies I've been seeing. They're going towards this commercial route because DJI is absolutely dominating the consumer space. They've got a drone that can fit everybody's need. They've got the Spark, they've got the Mavic Air, they've got things that go from the Mavic Pro to the Mavic 2 Pro to the Phantom. So I mean, if you need a drone, they have basically anything that anybody could be looking for.
Yeah, so going back to that trend, it's good that you mentioned DJI. We were at the DJI booth both days, packed on every day. It was like being in an Apple store. It's crazy. Yeah. But there was nothing new. They dropped the bombshell about the controller on day one of CES. So we got some hands-on time with that. It's very ergonomical. It's a really cool device.
I like it.
It's fast.
I really like it. But another trend that we've been seeing with these different drone companies is you see some of the, I guess, lesser known or less well-known companies copying off of the bigger companies like DJI. So one in particular, High Grade, I swear they had like 4 different drones out and all of them looked like drones we've already seen because they're just copies.
But at what point do we get to where a drone design is hard to, you know what I mean?
I agree.
There are some that are just really unique, but I don't know. I think they all sort of look very similar. But DJI, they had basically all the products that we've already saw. We had the Osmo Pocket booth out there. They were actually renting Osmo Pockets that you could take around and go if you didn't want to buy one, which was cool. I don't know how they were tagging that, or I don't know. But.
Well, so last year you were able to rent Osmo Mobiles, and then you just put your smartphone in. So again, I don't know how they track that. I don't know how they get them
cool,
back.
Though.
It is cool. A lot of people at CES are reputable. It's not like they just let
anybody you're not
in.
just taking anything.
You've got to be in the industry. But I want to go back to what I was saying about recycled tech. DJI kind of does that. They're definitely a victim of it, just kind of making refreshes of drones by just tweaking the insides, the interiors, the hardware, just little tweaks here and there, and then offering it like it's a brand new product. And with the smart controller, we kind of see that, right? Because we have the Crystal Sky monitor, the ultra high brightness monitor. We see the Phantom 4 Pro Plus with the built-in monitor, and now they're just kind of introducing it for the Mavic. So it's nothing crazy new, but it feels like it's new.
But here's what's funny about that is I complain a lot about ergonomics. Mm-hmm. I feel like the balance of the smart controller is worth it. The balance, the way it balances in your hands, it just feels so much more comfortable than the normal Mavic controller. I don't know. What did you think about that?
So I think that as a whole, the ergonomics were great. I love the little joysticks are still removable. You can spin them off, and then they get stored behind the drone, and then the antenna covers them when you put them away. It's a really great design all around. It feels ergonomical. I fly pinching the two joysticks.
I just started pinching.
The pinch and the thumbing method is a big debate, but I was afraid, and you were afraid, that pinching the controller would be a little bit weird.
But it's not. You hold it with your palms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just balances so nice.
Here's the one thing, and I feel like there's a lot of these smart controller videos getting a lot of dislikes, and I think the biggest reason is because of the price. It's like people see the smart controller, a video on it, and then they hear the price and like, oh, I'm going to dislike this dude's video.
Because the price, but you can't dislike something because of price. It's everybody has their own mindset of like what's worth it to you. Like for me, I'm just like, take my money. I want that. It's faster too.
So now here's the thing, right? It's $649 for the remote controller. You can buy a bundle where instead of the standard RC, it comes with that smart controller. So you are going to be spending a little bit more money. So it makes sense, maybe if you want that smart controller and you're looking to buy a Mavic 2, maybe just purchase it in that bundle. I think that DJI could have saved a lot of, I guess, hurt here, or I don't know what the right word is, but what if they called it the Pro controller? Because then people say, okay, it's professional. They expect it to be a good amount of money.
Right. It should have been called Pro. They should also give us more information on the controller, whether or not it's going to be available for more products. Because a lot of times people look at that $629 cost and they're like, well, if I buy a new drone in a year, is this product going to be able to be used on my next product? What I can see happening is, who knows? If you own a Mavic and maybe you upgrade to something else later on down the line, that maybe they just don't sell you that drone with the controller. You just get the unit.
Yeah, so here's the thing. You said $629, $649.
$649.
But I would love to see, like, even people like, oh, is this a universal remote controller, right? Could you imagine having a DJI remote and then you could fly any drone with it?
Yeah.
The remote had all the settings on it, so no matter which drone you hooked up to is the same settings. I mean, that is just a perfect world for me. That would be so cool.
I think the thing is, too, their trend is changing from using your phone, because there's a lot that can happen with your phone. Yep. You can get a phone call, you can get interference from your cellular reception. So there's a lot that can happen. And I think DJI has realized, hey, wait a second. If we want to make our drones the best they can be, we need to have a proprietary screen in which our users can see their data going back and forth. And it just makes it much easier, to be honest.
It really does. And I think it's nice maybe to offer that to people as like a price reduction, because it does keep costs down. A standard remote controller is not going to cost $649.
No, not at all.
I don't know if they're charging this price because it's like the tech inside, or if it's because it's a lot more to manufacture. But either way, if they give us the choice, I think it's great. Just like they did with the Phantom. If you want to use your smartphone, save a little bit of money, that's great. But I think to justify the price, they really need to up their game on adding third-party software.
Yes, we need third-party.
We've seen it get better.
We need an app store with they should make approved apps, put it in an app store like with Kitty Hawk, Lychee, whatever they say is approved. That's where they should go.
Yes, like a DJI App Store or something like that. Because right now, I've gotten people who say, I've got a Phantom 4 Pro Plus and I want to use Drone Deploy. How do I use it? And I've got the built-in controller. Yeah. It's like you just need to buy a new remote. Like
I can sideload apps with my Crystal Sky, which is cool, but I don't know exactly if it works 100%.
I know, right? And it's not meant to do that. It's not built to have those apps on there. So I would love it if DJI straight up gave you an Android tablet. It was an Android tablet built in. There could be some problems with that.
But I think the thing is too, they put encryption on it as well, so that it's very secure. That's the other thing. But if they allow these manufacturers of these apps to upload it directly to that store, they have to do that. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. They got to do that.
I think that, Crystal Sky is still fairly new. These built-in screens are still fairly new, and they're experimenting. Yeah. And I think that within the next couple of years, they're going to get it. They're going to get it right. Yeah. And I can't wait for that. So we've spent a lot of time here talking about...
Yeah, I know we talked a lot about DJI. Autel was right next to DJI.
What I had the segue in my mind, and you just killed it.
Sorry.
I think that we spent a lot of time talking about the remote controller because that was like the only thing new that we saw at CES.
Right.
CES, in my opinion, one word, underwhelming. Not a lot to look at.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
In terms of drones, right? I mean, there was a lot to look at. Don't get me wrong. 8K TVs, 8K cameras, AI, virtual reality
just dominated.
So much stuff to look at. Just a lot of cool cars.
A lot of 3D action cameras.
A yacht.
Yes.
So there was so much to look at, but in terms of drones, underwhelming.
Yes, very, very underwhelming. And like Billy said, a lot of the toy grade drones. And it's funny how enthusiastic these toy grade drone companies are to want to show you the product, want to demo the product. I mean, I was at a booth yesterday and the drone looks like a JBL Bluetooth speaker. They were so crazy hyped to show me this thing they weren't supposed to even turn it on and it fell off the shelf.
God.
I mean, it's crazy.
Now, we talked about some of the different brands that were there and some of the different companies. We talked about DJI, Autel, Unique, right? But the one company that's like the dark horse is PowerVision. We walked into the PowerVision booth and we were literally like, wow. They had a lot of their submersibles there. They had a lot of their drones there. The 2 drones that they sell, like the egg, the Power Egg, and the Power Eye, I think it's called.
Yeah, so the Power Eye is pretty interesting, actually.
It's a great product. It's kind of like a mixture between an Inspire and a Phantom. It's kind of got like the same size as a Phantom, but it gives you a lot of those same capabilities as the Inspire. It's got dual hot swappable batteries. I don't know if they're hot swappable, but dual batteries.
Yeah, I saw the dual batteries. I saw the zoom lens that it had, micro four thirds sensor on that.
Swappable lenses.
Crazy. I mean, just very well detailed, very robust, very well built. You said it was like an Inspire Phantom.
It's like a mixture almost. Yeah. I would say. PowerVision, Power Eye. It's pretty okay. $3,000 is what it goes for, and it's also got retractable landing gear.
So that's definitely a competitor with DJI's prosumer lineup.
Agreed.
The sensors that this thing has in the front is crazy. Something we haven't really seen anybody do is co-pilot situations.
Kind of like what you do with the Inspire.
Exactly. Haven't really seen that.
I think that is like key if you want like a professional movie grade.
Right.
I mean, the only drones right now that do it are the Inspire series.
Right. I haven't seen anybody else do that. They also submersibles is another thing they do.
Yeah. So PowerVision's really good with their submersibles, but a general trend at CES was just submersibles in general. Like so many submersible companies. I think that the same boom that drones had within the past year or two, the same thing is going to happen with submersibles going forward.
I think I see a reason as to why we're seeing submersibles. So the FAA obviously just hit us with a whole slew of new regulations, and something that's not really regulated is submersibles. I mean, who regulates that?
No,
Coast Guard.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
It's weird. I counted about 15 booths that had submersibles, and what's funny about it is they were all copying PowerVision. Like PowerVision is definitely the leader in underwater submersibles, and it really does show with the design.
I think they've got about 4 different types, and they all do different things. There's one that you can connect bait to. You can fish with the drone. You can send the bait out, drop it off. I mean, you can do drone bait release systems with you can do bait release systems with a drone, but that just doesn't make sense. Carrying it by air, carrying it by sea is so much better.
We also saw our first untethered underwater submersible. So, it's sort of a submersible.
Yeah, it's not underwater. It kind
floats.
Of goes over the top, and it has 2 antennas sticking up out of the top, so it's good on the reception.
Yep.
I don't want to spend all our time talking about submersibles. I know a lot of people are here for the drones, but I figured it was worth a mention because it's going to be interesting to watch from the outside and see how that changes.
A cool company I did stumble across today when we had broke apart was Fluid Dynamics.
Ooh, yeah.
The Evolve X. So it made its debut at CES 2018, and we really didn't hear much about it. I know Rick Smith got one in his hands, but I never really saw it fly. It was basically a prototype, and they are now shipping these, and they actually come with 3 sensors. So there's 3 different sensors. They have a compact Sony sensor, a micro four thirds Sony sensor, and then they also have a FLIR imaging sensor. And the best part about this drone is removable gimbal. It's got a lock-on-lock on the gimbal. You can just swap them out.
So was it a smaller booth? I somehow missed it.
It was, so their booth was so small, you probably went, all they had was a cage and 2 podiums in which you walked up to.
Okay, so I didn't see it, but from the picture you showed me, it looks badass.
Oh, it's I mean, you want to talk about the Tron of drones. Oh, that is it.
It was really cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah, and let's see. So Autel, they were really pushing their Evo hard again. But they showed off a lot of little accessories. You made a video, The Little Things Matter.
Yeah,
right?
And they really do.
I mean, all of these accessories just make flying your drone so much better. I mean,
it's like, why do you like DJI? Because
all those accessories.
All the accessories, everything. It's an ecosystem.
It just makes your flight so much better. And now being able to have the multi-charger, the battery hub, that is like a must for flying. I mean, if you have more than 3 batteries, you've got to get a multi-charger for any drone you have.
Yeah, and what we are witnessing is them slowly but surely build an ecosystem of products to incorporate their lineup. And it looks like, hopefully, I don't know this for a fact, but they're going to maybe possibly future-proof some of these connector pins from conversations we had. So definitely good things there. Another trend we saw was drones that you fly with one hand.
Oh, man. All right. So this is when we broke off. Ken saw the whatever drone you were talking about.
Stride. It's called Stride, I believe. And maybe I may be wrong.
I think we're talking about different things, but you go.
Oh, you're talking. I know what you're talking about.
So go.
I stumbled across this drone company called Strike or Stride. I'll find the name. We'll link it down below. But it's really cool. It almost looks like a Tello, but it shoots 1080p stabilized, and it has a range of 1,600 feet, which is pretty good for a drone of that size. Yeah. Ridiculous battery life of 20 minutes, and you fly it with just your thumb. You put this little controller sleeve over your thumb, you hold the controller with one hand, and it's not even a joystick, and you move your thumb like this. You want to yaw the drone, you pull back. You want to, accelerate, you go forward. If you want to lift, you lift off the controller. It was just, they had a flight simulator, and they were letting us play with it. Wild. I racked, obviously, but...
That sounds cool.
It's cool. It's really cool.
Now, what I saw at the DJI booth, right? All these companies, they have drone cages. I think that by law, by regulation, they've got to have these drone cages so that they don't injure anybody. And they don't let anybody in there. We got in the Autel one just to do some filming, which was nice.
It's because they know us.
Yeah, but DJI... They didn't really let anybody in, but this guy came up and said, I've got something really cool I want to show you. Can I come in the drone cage? So he came in, he brought his Spark, and he put on this glove that he had. It was like a full hand glove, and he had some different components on the top of his hand, and he was holding his smartphone, probably just to kind of see some of the different data. But he was able to fully control his drone using his hand. Now, we're not talking about gesture control. We're not talking about putting your hand up and moving the drone back and forth and taking pictures. I mean, he was pushing his hand this way and the drone was flying forward, top speed. He was able to pull it backwards and the drone was coming towards him. He was able to, I don't know the exact controls.
The video was nuts. It was nuts.
All of these different people from DJI that were watching him, and I can't help but think that DJI is going to pick up something like that.
It's something that they're probably going to be like, whoa, wait a second. This is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, that is like something that could go on in the future. You made a good point in some of the other takes we had where this would actually be good for people who are disabled.
Right,
who
exactly.
Can't actually use both of their arms to control the drone. They're able to just use their one hand, and that's perfect.
Or you think about somebody who's, we multitask with everything. When we have a controller in our hands, that's all we can do is focus on that. But maybe we were looking at data or something over here, and we need to fly with our hand. I mean, there's lots of
endless
use case scenarios for that. So I really wish that guy best of luck. I hope DJI does pick that up. That would be huge.
It was definitely in the early stages, but it was something that was really promising. Another crazy thing I saw as I was walking through the VR section, that's how you actually got back to the drones, is walking through VR, AR, and gaming. They had these people lifting weights, and they had these bands on their head, and it showed stress levels and just showed like all this crazy data coming off of your brain. And I was talking to the guy, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. How does it work? Showing me some of the software. And he said, what are you here for? And I said, oh, I'm here to look at the drones, everything, but really I'm here to see the drones. And he goes, oh, well, we could probably create something that controls a drone with your brain. And I was like, what? Like, could you imagine?
I would have mine go to In-N-Out Burger. Pick me up In-N-Out Burger.
Could you imagine being able to control your drone with your brain? He said right now all that you could probably do is like go up and down with current technology, but that's crazy.
That is nuts.
Wild.
That is really nuts.
Now, we didn't talk about our favorite drone company yet.
Oh yeah.
They're very unique.
So I went over there yesterday trying to film, and when every booth you walk up to, they're supposed to scan your badge just to understand like where you're from, whatever. Walk up to Unique, nothing. We're holding the Mantis, and I was there for a good 20 minutes just filming, looking at the Mantis, looking at all the products they have there. Nothing. Nobody said anything to us. They were very standoffish. They had a very small booth in comparison to PowerVision, Autel, and DJI, and they literally brought tech that was probably three years old. So they're a drone company that is not doing really much new. It seems like they have a very heavy focus on commercial, which is fantastic, but they're not bringing anything new or exciting really to the market right now.
Yeah, and it really sucks because when you look at their product, it's beautiful. I think that their design is awesome. Having 6 motors, that redundancy in case one fails is perfect, but the software inside is so outdated. It's so bad. It's like, first of all, their controller sucks, but
they did make a new controller though.
It's all right.
But it's nowhere near like, it's not what it could have.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Going only a mile is not enough.
I know. You can't use it for search and rescue.
You look on their drone, it is 0.99 miles. I mean, you've got to be down here on the ground, and if you're inspecting a high tower, you could potentially be going really high.
Right. Or you'll lose connection.
Yeah. So, and I've heard a lot of flyaways happen with Unique. Yeah. And when I was there, I was taking some photos of one of the drones, and he goes, all right, well, these are the commercial drones. Somebody actually came up to me. He says, these are the commercial drones, the consumers over there. I said, no, I'm here to look at the commercial. And he looked at me weird, like almost like I was not a commercial
Did you tell him who you were?
Does he know who I am?
Does he know who you are?
No, but I mean, still, it's just like the people I had working there, I got a bad vibe. A lot of the people at the other booths were like very happy to show us the products.
It wasn't welcoming.
Nah.
Like it just, we're not trying to trash them. They got a lot that they could do right, but the problem is, they're not listening in to any of us to make any improvements. And then we're not saying we're experts by any means, but when you look at it all and you're looking at like from a 1,000-foot view of things, like they got to make changes for next year. So I hope they do.
Yeah, and I think that like from a marketing standpoint, right, DJI does it right. They send out products to influencers. They really get their product out there so everybody knows that there's something new from DJI. Oh. But when something new drops from Unique, it's like, wait, that came out?
Did you know the Mantis won an award actually?
Really?
Yeah, that won an award. It was like a big deal. They won an award at CES. I don't know how.
Really?
Yeah,
they do hand out some pretty weird awards to weird people.
Suckiest company.
Was that just a joke, or did they seriously get an award?
No, they got an award. I'm just saying that was my award for them. I would slide that across the table,
like a little MKBHD glass award.
Yeah, something like that.
So that's like all from CES. Again, guys, it was like
there's a lot to cover. Like, we're gonna have more videos on it.
Yeah, like if it was CES 2018, we could sit here and talk for 2 hours about new stuff, about cool stuff from CES. Yeah. But like CES 2019, after seeing 2018, it was just like underwhelming. It sucked.
It doesn't
suck.
suck. But what it's going to do is it's going to sort of segue to a very busy drone year. Last year they dropped the DJI event. We saw the Mavic Air. And I don't doubt that DJI is going to be like, try to steal people's thunder from CES and be like, all right, we're going to come strong. 2019, we're just going to hammer down. I don't think we'll see another Mavic this year. I think we were pretty clear on that. We got to see the Phantom 5 this year. It's got to happen.
Know. Just like what we saw with the Inspire 2 and the Phantom 4 Pro, it's like a dual event. Maybe we'll see both of them out in LA. What's crazy, and I've been thinking about this a lot, is that I began my YouTube channel with the Phantom 4, right? And now, 2.5 years later, we have the Phantom 4 Pro. We're still dealing with the same body style. It just blows my mind it hasn't been updated.
It's crazy, and you still haven't sent that in for repair.
I know, my Phantom 4 Pro is still literally
I would just love to see you get that fixed as a 2019 resolution.
Something I really want to do is get an Obsidian. I want to get a Phantom 4 Pro Obsidian, but it's really, at this point, it's like, first of all, it's outdated tech because of the version 2.0.
You make me sick.
But, dude, it looks so cool, the matte black. Guys, I think that pretty much wraps it up here for our CES 2019 coverage. Be sure to check out both of our personal channels to check out some different videos that we created. I've got a couple I want to make as the week goes on about CES 2019. It really sucks shooting here. We've got a great light here, which is awesome. I literally had to buy a light out here. But other than that, the Wi-Fi speeds are just unusable.
It's bad. Come on, Vegas, get it together.
Now, you guys might notice that this is being uploaded on a Friday. Yeah. You guys are watching this on a Friday. We usually upload on Sundays. We're going to have another episode for you guys in 2 days on Sunday, but we want to start uploading 2 podcasts or 2 episodes every single week. I think that that's just a great way to grow the channel. It's a great way to put out more content. And we've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
And I feel like sometimes I'm sitting there on like a Tuesday and I'm like, oh man, when does the Overcast podcast go up?
It's too far in between.
Yeah.
It's too far in between.
So we're thinking like every Wednesday and Sunday, but let us know what you guys think about another upload date in the comment section below. Well, right now, we're definitely going to continue on with the Sundays. Sunday is like a great way to end the week. Just sit down, watch the podcast, chill with us, when we premiere it.
It recaps YouTube. Everything that's happened.
Exactly. So, Sundays are a go, but let us know what you think. Maybe like a Wednesday or a Thursday, whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to do it for our coverage here. We're really tired. It's like I said, we're crazy tired. We have not slept barely at all. And I think we're going to go eat, man.
Yeah, man. So, guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to let us know what you think of this podcast down in the description. And also, just from what you've seen from CES, let us know what you think about what you saw. Again,
what did we miss?
Yeah, we probably missed some things. It's easy to miss some things, but, just coming from us, it's a little bit underwhelming, but we love to know what you guys have to say. But, guys, thanks for watching. And as always, we'll talk to you later.
Wait. Can we do the fist bump? That's Linus said you got to do fist bumps.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, why do you hit me so hard, dude?